And we welcome you back to KCBD Now. Kirk Kaiser with you on this wonderful Thursday morning. Glad you've joined us on KCBD.com. And we're visiting today with Glenn Polk. And Glenn is co-owner of the Ragtown Gospel Theater, as we've talked about, just outside of Post. And we mentioned Post. We've talked about Chip. Let's talk about early days in Post. Did you ever envision you would have a theater just outside of town when you were growing up there?
Oh, absolutely not. I've told people I would have been the guy voted least likely to go into ministry.
Is that right?
Yeah, and so hopefully, a lot of the people that remember the old Glen, BC,
Yeah.
have died off. So we got a new crop now.
Please call in. Tell us your stories about
Oh,
Glenn.
no,
if you're
no,
out there.
no, no.
But now your early days were radio, right?
Yeah, right.
How did you get into radio?
Actually, Chip got me into radio.
Really?
I was night administrator at what's Covenant now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be Methodist Hospital, and he had a little afternoon radio show that he was doing in Post after school, and on Saturdays. And so the fellow that owned the radio station, a fellow named Gary Joyner, was looking for somebody a full-time job. And so I told Chip that I would come down and do a board shift until Gary found somebody. 'Cause I'd never even been in a radio station, Kurt. And so I went down. Chip showed me how to run the board.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He's, I don't know, 15 or something.
Yeah, you're the wiser older brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just loved it. I had a lot of fun. And so I began to, and of course, Gary was listening to me, and he offered me a really good job to come down and furnish the house and all that stuff.
Wow.
Very nice, 3-bedroom brick. I said, okay, I'll see you. Method.
So that became your full-time job?
That became my full-time job, and I was in it for 16 years. And,
Okay.
Chip actually, Gary was killed in a plane crash, and so the station ended up selling, and so I went south. I went to Snyder, and
Right.
Chip went north, and came up here, and then he ended up in Waco and Plainview and around. But I went to Snyder and stayed, and so
Okay.
I ran that station for 16 years, and got out in 1988.
So now, we mentioned Ragtown being around 20 years. Is Ragtown what brought you and Chip together to work together again?
Well, no, Chip and I had worked together before. Actually, we worked together in 3 different phases of our lives.
Okay.
And it's all Chip's fault. I never thought about it just this moment. All of it's Chip's fault. Because I went to radio, and that's
because of Chip.
That was big. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so when we left Snyder, came to Lubbock, Chip and I, and one other fella Chip had a part-time job in the medical equipment business.
Okay.
He was selling, calling on nurses and this, that, and the other. And so we decided we're going to go into the medical equipment business. And so the 3 of us did. And it was family home health equipment. And nobody else treats you like family. And
There you go. I like that slogan.
And so we did that for 7 years. And then a huge company made us an offer we could not refuse. And so,
Sounds like The Godfather.
oh yeah, really, there was a head in my bedroom. No, but
You had no
anyway,
choice.
and so we sold it, and by that time we had locations in corporate office was in Lubbock, but then we had locations in Big Springs and Midland, Odessa, and Hobbs, and Clovis, and so we covered a whole lot of West Texas
Yeah.
and eastern New Mexico, and that was really what the company wanted. They wanted to be able to say we've got this much territory, because they were merging with another company, and they wanted more to bring to the table. So that's the deal. So we sold it and got out of that, and Twyla and I, we got to retire early.
Oh, wow.
And so we traveled a bit and had a really nice time. We retired in the middle of our lives instead of the end of them. And so
What a nice thing to do.
it was.
I like
It
Yeah.
really was. And so, and then when I mentioned a while ago, when we first went into ministry when I was
Yeah.
55, I just felt like God was calling me into that. I knew He was. And so I got Paul the Apostle, and I was traveling with it, doing all this, and went everywhere, all different kinds of churches, and I wasn't really good about my planning my trips out because I had been in what is the town way up in the north end of Texas, of New Mexico.
You got me.
I can't remember correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, way up there. And my next one was way down in South Texas. It's like going across the United States.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we were coming back and from there, and Chip called me and said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I told him we were about to San Antonio." And he said, "Well, when you get home, I want to talk to you." And I said, "What about?" And he said, "I'm not going to tell you." I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm planning the rest of your life."
Wow.
Boy, was he ever.
And he was.
He was. I didn't, because I just
And
thought
that was Ragtown.
that was Ragtown. And I
Okay.
thought it was, I thought it was funny, but it ended up that's exactly what he was doing. And it's just been such an amazing partnership all these years.
Right.
And so, yeah, Chip's a very talented guy. He's probably the most talented man I know. I mean, he's an amazing artist,
Great singer, great
Singer,
great,
musician.
Can
He-
play the piano. Yeah.
and playwright. And
Yeah, playwright.
He's written several books,
Yeah.
and so he's pretty much got it all together. You
Yeah.
know, people say to me, well, "Your family is so talented." I'm an actor. Yeah, I play the piano.
No, you're both talented,
Yeah.
both very talented, and we're going to have Chip on this program someday for equal time. You know,
Oh, yeah, well,
we'll hear his side of the
I'm
story.
being so nice about him.
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying-
have been
I'm
nice.
saying really good things.
We'll remind him of that when
Yeah,
he talks.
okay.
Yeah, it'll be like the rest of the story, which
Yeah.
someone else used to do. Well, you mentioned being a playwright. So for many of the years at Ragtown, Chip's writing the productions, and you're starring in them.
Yes.
Or directing them, starring in them.
Yes.
Combination of both.
Right.
But he was writing them. I mean, you've done 64 different productions.
Yeah, we're in our 63rd production.
63rd,
Yeah.
okay.
And but he writes for me,
Mm-hmm.
and which is really amazing that you have somebody that can do that. It's good for both of us because no playwright that I ever heard of got everything they wrote produced.
Right. Good
And
point.
So he does. He writes it, and then he says it's all it is a stack of paper until Glenn gets it, and casts it, blocks it, directs it, and does all that, and which is what I've been doing forever, and so it's a great partnership in that. But he writes for me. Well, a good example is the play you were in when we did Noah.
Yeah.
It's many years ago. I had a motorcycle accident and broke my neck, and so I think all of that's kind of coming home to roost. I've had 5 back surgeries. My spinal column has been violated, and so it's gotten to where I can't walk too well on stage. So Chip would take that into consideration when he was writing these plays. And at the very beginning of Noah, you remember.
Yeah, I sure do with the well.
Noah is up working on his well and, trying, and falls in the well.
Falls in the well.
Yeah, breaks his leg, supposedly. And so that was a reason for Noah to have to walk with a crutch.
Which you did.
Which I did, and it worked beautifully.
I remember the first rehearsal in the well. This isn't telling trade secrets. You would probably know this. There's huge cushions to catch Glenn.
Yes.
So that he doesn't get hurt. However, all of us were extremely worried as Glenn goes over the edge and we couldn't see him. And I remember the very first rehearsal that you did that, you go backwards, and we all run over. Are you all right? Are you
I
all
know
right?
it, yeah, yeah.
And you were all right.
Yeah,
But
I landed on those cushions, but
Yeah.
it scared everybody so bad.
It did.
I quit going in backwards.
Yeah.
And started falling in frontwards.
Right.
Backwards looked so good. My leg's the last thing to go down.
Well, I don't remember the way that Chip puts this, but he uses, of course, the Bible as his main reference, but he adds some things in there.
Yeah.
And Noah is a good example of that because, as I said, I'm not kidding. I played his drunk brother, and the reason that his brother was that way is that he was upset that he wasn't going to be included in those that were going on the ark.
Right, and your character was actually, you didn't believe that I was going to go. You made made fun of me. Everybody did.
As everyone, I was going to say, as everyone was doing.
Yeah, and the last scene of Noah was actually one of the most moving speeches I have ever been privileged to give on stage.
I teared up every time I
Yeah.
heard that speech, and you just said it, and I started to,
thank
just
you.
because it was so meaningful.
Thank you.
And a lot of it, Glenn, is about just what we're talking about. People banging on the doors
Yeah.
who wanted in, who'd
Yeah.
been mocking him, making fun of him.
Yes.
Now, all of a sudden, it's raining. The floodwaters are
Yeah.
starting to rise.
And one of the things he said is that they were scratching on the sides of the boat, and then it stopped.
They were gone.
Golly, man, it just. And you talk about tearing up when you saw it. I teared up every time I did it.
Yeah.
Because it's just because it had to have been that way, Kurt.
Right, and we don't think about that.
No.
But it was very moving, that part, but then let's go full circle, because you turn it around to say there won't be another flood. However, you can be on the ark.
Yeah.
You can accept Christ now
Yeah.
in a different way, right?
Right, because those of us who are Christians are in the ark.
Yeah.
We're in there already now.
Right.
And so, yeah, it was such a moving play and funny in lots of places, and you were absolutely
It was
hilarious.
fun.
Oh yeah, you were great.
We had fun. Now, for those who haven't been to Ragtown before, we talked about Chip and his talent. He displays that talent right at the beginning. So we have a time of music with Chip and Jeff Bailey or whoever else he has with
Right.
him.
Uh-huh.
Then we take an intermission and come back for the actual production. So you're getting the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
a wonderful concert at the beginning.
Yeah, it's actually two shows for the price of one.
Yeah.
And I think it's quality entertainment. Music is wonderful, and a lot of it is stuff that original stuff that Chef has written, and he's got some CDs and things like that. And of course, we've got DVDs of all of our shows, so DVDs have kind of gone by the wayside, but they're kind of coming back now.
Are they?
Interestingly
Yeah.
enough, just like big
Albums are coming back.
coming
yeah,
back.
yeah, the old real records are coming back. Now, at intermission and before or after the performances, you have tables set up at the back where you have the DVDs, as you mentioned, a lot of other mementos, I've done some Christmas shopping there,
Yeah,
Glenn.
a lot of people have.
Yeah, full disclosure. Some
yeah.
wonderful wooden carvings.
They come from Bethlehem.
Uh-huh.
There's a family in Bethlehem that carves those in all little crosses and a beautiful work, but they send them. We import them,
Uh-huh.
and there's really some pretty stuff, and we always tell people, take a little bit of Ragtown home with you.
Right.
You mentioned the way Chip writes. I think the sentence you were looking for is we write between the lines of Scripture,
Yes. Yes.
which is exactly what they do, and we were doing it before they did, before the
Chosen.
Chosen.
Yeah.
They're a whole lot more successful at it than we are.
Yeah. But you're adding things in there that weren't part of it, but probably were part of it.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, we could just stand up there and read the Bible, and we wouldn't have anybody come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the thing about what we do, you get the gospel just like you do in your churches, but it comes in a different window. And I've had so many people say every time I read about Peter, I'll see your face. or every time I read about Paul, I'll see your face. And of course, that makes me feel wonderful.
Sure.
Interesting thing that happened when I was doing Peter, and I think every person that's an actor that's watching this program can identify with this. I mean, the applause is wonderful at the end of the play, but there was, my favorite production was Peter, Peter the Rock, and it's also a one-man production. The premise is Peter is in prison. It's the morning of the day Peter is going to be martyred. And it's been 30 years since he's seen Jesus face to face. And he knows today's the day, and he can't wait. He says, I count the minutes. You know, golly, man, I get me chill. But in that play, Peter, he comes down and he's standing, and all of a sudden he sees a vision of Jesus. Audience doesn't see this, but Peter does. And the whole play, Peter talks to Jesus about things that they did, things that he did, things that he taught them. It's in remembering the things that he did, like when he denied Christ.
Right.
And of course, he just couldn't forgive himself. At the very beginning of the play, Peter's dreaming, and you are hearing what the audience hears what Peter is dreaming.
Oh, wow.
And then because he said, you'll deny me 3 times before the cock crows.
Yeah.
And then the rooster crows in the background. That's what wakes Peter up.
Extremely meaningful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but it was just such a beautiful show. And the first time I ever read it, Chip gave it to me, and I was reading it, which I do all the time with every show. I read it out loud to my wife, Twyla. And when I was reading it, and I got to the end of it, and I could not speak.
Really?
Yeah, I was trying to get the words out. I just couldn't do it. It was that
That
to read
meaningful.
it.
Right.
And so, I think it was 3, maybe 4 times this happened when I was doing Peter. At the very end of the play, he says, his last line is, "Here I come, Lord. I'm stepping out of the boat." And there's a whole lot more before that you'd have to hear, but then the light goes out, the curtain closes, not a sound.
Really?
And then the curtain opens back up for the curtain call, spotlight hits me, not a sound. Golly, they were just so in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's just, what a compliment that was. Just as an actor, what a compliment that was. But just to how meaningful that story
Absolutely.
is.
That has to be exciting.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. You're listening to Glenn Polk. You're watching KCBD Now, our new talk show we have here on KCBD.com. We'll be back to visit more with Glenn and recount more of the memories from Ragtown Gospel Theater. He mentioned his wife, Twyla. We got to get Twyla in there as well.
Oh, my, yes.
And some more of the Ragtown family. But we'll be back with more on KCBD Now in just a moment.